Welcome everyone, Build Out here. Super excited about this video. And in this video, we're going to talk about dealing and implementing various development methodologies such as waterfall, agile, DevOps, hybrid, right? If you've been watching my YouTube video for a while, you'll know I cover both PMO and project management. And the context of this video is really around PMO leadership. Right, so I want to make sure that we have set that context so you're aware of what angle we're coming from as you continue through the video. Okay, as you know, I've been running PMOs for the last 20 years, 10 PMOs across 4 different companies. So this is something that's very passionate. Most of them have been in the IT space. So very passionate about this topic specifically around waterfall and hybrid and agile and DevOps and scaled agile. So let's jump right into it. So first though, I want to cover why is this a problem, right? Why are PMO leaders dealing with this problem and why are they faced with this methodology process mess, right? Well, first, PMO leaders are under a ton of pressure to go fast and keep up with the pace of the organization. And sometimes in IT, waterfall or predictive, right, may not be able to keep up to the pace that the organization needs to happen. Therefore, PMO managers, PMO leaders are asked to take on new development methodologies such as agile or scaled agile, right? And piloting new development methodologies, right, it's time consuming, it's costly, it throws projects into a whole disarray, right, when they're not using the standard methodology they've been using for years and they're piloting and trying to use something else. It's not a bad thing. It's just something that you need to have the right level of project and the right pilot to be able to understand that, and PMO leaders are faced with that now. We've got to implement agile. We've got to implement scaled agile. Well, what does that mean and what projects can we use? So it puts it in a really difficult spot for a PMO manager or a leader. Companies also need to be very mature to take on these new methodologies, right? It's not an easy pivot. It's not an easy switch. So if companies are not mature enough to take on a new development methodology and they go all in on these methodologies, it could have disastrous results in their projects. So we're in this mess from a project and a PMO leader perspective because sometimes the companies are not mature enough themselves to be able to go all in, and sometimes they go all in. Number 3. Teams need to be able to pilot these projects, right, in a nice, safe environment. They can't have the time pressures. They can't have the same level of pressure they do on normal projects because they're learning a new methodology. They're learning this new process. Yes, they're applying it to a current project, but they're going to do it in a much slower, much methodical way as they understand the various roles and responsibilities. So that's really difficult for a PMO manager who's trying to get these projects executed through, who's got a lot of pressures from the company, a lot of pressures from customers to get the projects done while trying to give a safe environment to the project team that's trying to pilot this new methodology. That's interesting, right? But why are we in this mess, right? Like, why do PMO leaders have to deal with all these different methodologies, right? Why can't say in IT, right? Why can't we just use predictive or we use just waterfall? Well, let me jump into some of those scenarios. Number 1, companies are trying to go at a whole new pace of agility, right? And we believe methodologies like Agile and DevOps and Scaled Agile, they're the latest and greatest methodologies out there, and companies don't want to miss taking advantage of some of those great aspects of those methodologies. So they want to be right in there, they want to rush, and we got to be agile, and then we got to take those agile methodologies. So sometimes the companies are kind of forcing because they don't want to miss out on the latest methodologies. Number 2, companies struggle when they bring in new methodologies, right? Like I said, they're more focused on running the pilots and getting new projects quickly through the methodology and still executed as fast as possible compared to training and planning and running these pilots in a slow, methodical way so the project teams can learn, can create best practices, can really understand the goodness to these methodologies and then allow that to be trained other people in the organization. But when you rush projects through and you rush the learning of a new methodology, that really makes it difficult. Does that make sense? Have you seen that before? Have you seen your leaders say, hey, we got to go all agile, and then every project's just instantly agile, and they don't really have the team or the time to really understand it and figure out how to use that methodology? Comment below, right? Because I'd love to understand more around what you guys are doing, and are you going all agile or all scaled agile and then really don't have the time or the training to do that, right? So I think that's a really important aspect, and I'm dying to know and I'm dying to learn from you. So comment below, are you guys going all agile? Are you going all scaled agile? Whatever the methodology is, DevOps, and then let me know, because I really want to understand. Okay, so what are some possible solutions from a PMO leadership perspective? First, and it's really I can't stress enough, you have to pilot. You can't go all in on a particular methodology until you pilot. You have a great selection criteria saying, should this be predictive? Should this be agile? Should this be DevOps? You should have a methodology selection process in place. You as a PMO leader can get that set up, and then as new projects come in, you select the right methodology for the project, right? It doesn't have to be all waterfall, it doesn't have to be all agile. Have that selection process in place and then decide what's the right methodology for that project. Number two, train and make sure your teams have the training and the processes and the materials so they're successful, right? Maybe hire a coach, bring in an agile coach, bring in a scaled agile coach, right? But make sure the teams that are piloting have the materials, have the training, and have that safe environment that they can run this project and be successful. I can't stress that enough. Number three, crawl, walk, run. Again, pilot, adjust, pilot again, adjust again, keep tweaking. Not every framework that you bring in is going to work perfect for your company. You're going to have to run some hybrid concepts. Even if you're all agile, some of those components may or may not work. So I think it's really important that you crawl, walk, run through this process. You don't hurry. You make sure that you're doing the right methodology for the right project, and you give that safe space. I can't stress that enough. What do you think? Does that make sense? I've been doing this for years and years. I've been through DevOps, I've been through Scaled Agile, I've been through Agile, I've been obviously through Waterfall. So I'd love to get your opinions. Comment below. If you like these stories, if you like this topic, please like, subscribe the video, hit the bell notification. And again, I'm gonna put that other video on this video as well, so you can see from a project management perspective on how to deal with different methodologies as well. So I'm tackling it from both angles. Thank you very much. My name is Bill Dow. I'll see you online.